friends, it's lesson 32. And the question we're going to be learning on our Godly Game Show today is, my friend doesn't go to church. What should I do? That's an amazing question. Stay tuned for the answer.
These hands, these feet, these eyes that seek to find their hope in you. I'm made in your image. I'm made in your image. This heart that beats, this mouth that speaks more and more like you. I'm made in your image. I'm made in your image. 'Cause you are the potter and I am the clay. You're molding me, shaping me every day. 'Cause you are the potter and I am the clay. You're molding me, shaping me every day. I'm trusting in the Lord on the day-to-day, picking up strength all along the way. And you know what you're doing in me. I'm trusting in the Lord on the day-to-day, picking up strength all along the way. And you know what you're doing in me. In your image I am made. In your image I am made. In your image I am made. These hands, these feet, these eyes that seek to find their hope in you. I'm made in your image. I'm made in your image. This heart that beats, this mouth that speaks more and more like you. I'm made in your image. I'm made in your image. 'Cause you are the potter and I am the clay. You're molding me, shaping me every day. 'Cause you are the potter and I am the clay. You're molding me, shaping me every day. I'm trusting in the Lord on the day-to-day, picking up strength all along the way. And you know what you're doing in me. I'm trusting in the Lord on the day-to-day, picking up strength all along the way. And you know what you're doing in me. In your image I am made. In your image I am made. In your image I am made. You made me special. You made me precious. You made me wonderful. You made me special. You made me precious. You made me wonderful. In your image I am made. I'm trusting in the Lord on the day-to-day, picking up strength all along the way. And you know what you're doing in me. I'm trusting in the Lord on the day-to-day, picking up strength all along the way. And you know what you're doing in me. In your image I am made. Oh, in your image I am made. In your image I am made. I'm trusting in the Lord on the day-to-day, picking up strength all along the way. And you know what you're doing in me. In your image I am made.
Hello everyone out there in Wild Wednesday world. Welcome to another night of our Godly Game Show. Miss Tucci here this evening. I hope everybody was having a very special day today. Today, our contestants are Miss Sandy. Come on down, Miss Sandy. And we also have Miss Sue. Come on down, Miss Sue. Well, tonight we're going to talk about something that's really, really near and dear to all of our hearts. And you'll know that as soon as I ask the question.
Okay.
My friend doesn't go to church. What should I do? Miss Sue, invite them, okay? Right, that's the best way to get a friend to come to church, to invite them, okay? What do you say then if they said, no, I'm not going to come to church? Miss Sandy.
I would say you don't have to come to a church service, but we're having a picnic. And it might be fun, they're gonna have games, and you might get to enjoy some of the things that go on outside.
It's right, it doesn't have to be on Sunday for service. There are so many fun things that happen in a church, and especially in our church, that we can invite them to one of the fun things. But we can also ask them why they don't want to go to church.
Oh, I never thought of that, yes.
Okay? So what we can do is, like, we can ask them why they don't come to church. And if they say that their parents don't come to church, we can say, well, can you ask your parents if you can come? We'll come and pick you up. Or we can invite the whole family, right? Say, well, have your mom and dad come. They might like our church. But like Miss Sandy said, we can invite them to not just come on Sunday, but to invite them to come when we do fun things. Like sometimes we have picnics, or sometimes when we have church on Wednesdays in church for Wild Wednesday. We have a really fun opening, or we have a pajama party, or a Christmas party. Those are all things. But for right now, since we're not in church, what can you invite your friends to do?
You can invite them to come to your house and maybe have an activity like a craft that you got from church. And say, this is what I made, look what I made for Easter, look what we did, and show them what you've been doing.
That's right. Or you can invite them to watch Wild Wednesday, right? You can tell them about all the fun things that you get in your box and all the fun things that you learn, and maybe, just maybe, that will help them think about wanting to come to church, and especially if their parents watch it with them.
That's right, and I know you can go back on Facebook and you can hit weeks that you maybe missed or maybe that you enjoyed, and you can rewatch them, right?
That's right, Miss Sue. Their videos are there that you can invite your friends to watch the old videos. Now, a friend who doesn't go to church could be a Christian, because not all Christians go to church, but we're taught that it's important to be amongst other Christians, because you know what? That's what keeps us strong in our faith too, is when we're around other people that believe in God and believe in Jesus. So if they are a Christian and they don't go to church, they're missing out on something for sure. But if they're not a Christian and they come to church, guess what could happen? And probably would happen.
I know, they'll get to know the Lord.
They'll get to know the Lord. That's right. And do you know that that's what Jesus commanded his disciples to do? And his disciples then commanded all the people around them was to go out and tell the world about God and about Jesus. So that's our job too. Now there's some people that go around the world who are missionaries. They might go to China, they might go to Africa. Okay, that might not be what you're called to do. Maybe you're called to be a team member for Wild Wednesday, okay? That's our way of sharing about God and Jesus, okay? Pastor Doug was called to lead this church. That's his way of sharing God and sharing Jesus. We're all going to have different jobs, but what we have to make sure is when God tells us what our job is, that we listen to it.
That's right.
That's what's important, okay? Now, church might not sound like fun, because, you know, there are some churches that you go to that you don't have a lot of crazy fun things that happen in our church. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that church. As long as that church believes in God and believes in Jesus, that church is okay. But it might not be fun for little kids. But especially if your friend watches you and what you're doing, and about how you're trying to make right choices, and about how you're being nice to other children that they're not being nice to, they're going to wonder about why you're like that. And that's when you tell them, I'm like that because I'm trying to be like Jesus.
That's right.
That's how Jesus was. But remember, maybe once our church opens back up and we get to do all of our activities again, like Sunday school and junior church and be here on Wednesday nights, you might find that might even be a better time to invite your friend to come to church. So, let's just remember to always think about ways that we can encourage our friends to want to be a part of church. Our Bible verse today comes from 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 9 and 10. You were chosen to tell about the wonderful acts of God who called you out of darkness into a wonderful light. At one time, you were not a people, but now you are God's people. Well, thank you for being here with us again. Have a good evening. Thank you, Miss Sandy. Thank you, Miss Sue.
Welcome.
Bye, everybody. So today, our Bible verse comes from Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will direct your paths.
Hello everybody, welcome to Wild Wednesday Craft Time. We are learning about inviting friends to church. It doesn't have to be in our building. It can be all these amazing Wild Wednesday videos. Go on, show them, talk to them about God. But you know, sometimes we need do a little more than just talk about it. So, what we did for our lesson 32 is we are making cards.
All right.
So, you make a card to invite your friend or your aunt or your sister or anybody, just not your pets. Well, they can watch online. Some pets like to watch on TV. But you can make your card any way you want. You guys got different stickers, you have your markers, we send home crayons in the beginning. So grab your supplies and make it along with us. Who are you making yours for, Miss Sally?
I think I'm going to make this for one of my daughters.
Ooh, that's nice. See, it's so fun to come to church and be surrounded by family.
Yes.
I come, my sister comes, my parents come, all the cousins get to be together. It's so much fun.
Yes. Yes, you can invite your friend, and your friend can bring his whole family with him.
Yes, and it doesn't matter what day. We have different times. We have Wednesday night and we have Sunday nights, right? And they have all different kinds of churches that have all different kinds of activities. Some churches just have big game days, which is so cool and so fun.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what you want to start off with, inviting your friends to do something more fun. And then maybe together you guys could join up and invite even more friends. You can get as many cards or as many letters, and you can send them out, you can hand them out, or you can mail them out, because you also have your envelopes. So what's the best thing about church that you're going to tell your daughter about?
Oh, I think she just needs to know all about God, and that God loves her, God loves you, God loves me, God loves everybody. So that's very important for your friends to know. You can always tell your friends that there is always someone who loves you beyond anything, and that's God.
That's right, Miss Sally. That is amazing. God loves us all, no matter what. And that is definitely good news to spread along. And the more you spread it, then the more other people will spread the good news of God. And that's what He wants from us. He wants us to share His love, because His love is pretty amazing.
Yes, it is.
To be able to pray to someone, to be able to believe in something that is even bigger than you are. It's hard to believe that all things are possible through God, right?
Yes, everything is possible.
That's right, everything. It's a pretty amazing thing. So I hope you really enjoy sending out your invitation cards. Miss Sally has hers ready for her daughter. And I hope that you guys have a good night. Bye! I hope you guys enjoy enjoyed all of our fun activities tonight. Don't forget to join us next week for more of our fun. We'd love to see